right, did you know Sunday is National Pizza Day? We're getting ready to celebrate by learning how to make the perfect pie at home with Billy Bricks. CEO Rick Gruber joins us now with a home dough. So you guys have 7 different locations around the Chicagoland area.
Yes, so actually this is a great year for us. We're in our 20th anniversary year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. So we've been around a long time. I feel like we were one of the first, we probably were, when we first started, and we're the original premier casual Neapolitan and New Haven style pizzeria in Illinois. So it's time we get out there and start showing people what we're doing.
Yeah, and you kind of made your way around the business, right? Grew up with it and then went to law school, became a lawyer, you know, had your own company, and then it was like, okay, it's time. It's time to go back to the family business.
Yeah, so it's really exciting for me as an attorney who was the original sandwich guy, and I wasn't even allowed to touch the pizza, to now becoming somewhat of a master pizza maker. Yeah, and this is where the passion is. This is where the fun is, and that's what Billy Bricks is all about. We have the best time making pizza because it makes people happy. I mean, look at the smile on your face today.
Oh yes,
we're gonna be making
everybody
pizza.
loves pizza.
Everybody loves pizza. So
okay, teach us your mastery.
So making dough is baking. So it's about precision and it's about patience. So that's the one hard part about making pizza dough.
Right.
But it's very, very simple, the ingredients. And everything I have here today is stuff that you can easily get online. I made sure we could do that with a lot of the same people that we use. So you just want to make sure you always measure your water. Okay. Just like baking. So
it has to be super accurate.
Yes. So for this particular recipe, which is going to be in the links, it's a 64% hydration. So we have 640 grams of water. We are going to have 1 bag to make this nice and convenient of our Cinque Stagioni flour. And you always put in your yeast, which is from Lasaf, Red Star. You can get that pretty much anywhere. Okay. So you make sure it's in the water and it's activated. So this is an instant, so it should already be ready to go for you. You just want to make sure it's mixed in there, but you don't have to do much else. Otherwise, it's going to overproof your dough very fast. The next, you're going to put about 90% of your flour into the bowl. And whether you hand mix or with a mixer, you know, that's up to you. Depends on what you have. It's always about 12 to 15 minutes. So once that's in there, you want to make sure you are mixing that into your water like anything else. The last ingredient, so simple, like I said, salt. But salt is only for 2 things, taste and texture. That's it. So we don't want to mix it in right away. We want to make sure we're getting a much smoother look on our dough ball before we add that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that's where I think the secret of Billy Bricks' flavor is in our crust, because it has the flavor and texture on the outside and doesn't weaken or soften that dough. Right. So you get a nice crisp.
And when I walked up, I said the color seems a little different than you would typically look for, and that's important.
Yes, so this is a brand new dough that we have right here. So like I said, you'll hand or put that in a blender. When you have this dough, this is what it's going to look like once you've done that and done the tuck and roll. So you get that out on your bench, you tuck and roll like it is a dough ball.
Tuck and roll.
Yeah,
I like
so you
it.
tuck and roll. You take that dough ball nice and smooth. That's the texture that you want.
Look how perfect that is. You've been doing this for some time.
Yeah, this is not my first time. So once you do that, you're going to put that in, wrap that, and this is where the patience comes in. You leave that overnight. The next day, it should be ready to go, 24 to 48 hours.
And the color is indicative of its readiness.
Yeah, so you have about 30 minutes on this, and then you'll chop that up on whatever size dough ball you want. So now you'll see it's the same thing, and you're going to tuck.
Same thing. It's a tuck and roll.
It's the same thing.
Later, all right.
And that's what gives it that strength, and that is what you'll store. And you see that, and you have to wait for that, give it nice and rise. When you start to get some of these darker little spots, that's the gluten's activating and the proteins inside the dough. That is where all the flavor and the fun is going to come from. Everybody is all about sourdoughs now. Why? Because it's old, it's like a starter, and it gives it that flavor and texture and much more easy to digest. So we have a 48-hour recipe. So you'll want to see those start to come in. And
I don't have that much patience.
No.
48 hours.
No, but the one I gave...
This is when I come to you to do it, right?
The recipe I gave is a same-day dough recipe. And as you can see with the high hydration, if you don't have like a bench flour, like a semolina, it's a lot harder to handle. So you want to make sure you have just a little bit of that in there so you can work it on the bench without it sticking to your hands. And then there's a lot of different ways to stretch dough. Some people like to use a pin. Some people like to go by hand. We do everything by hand, and we press it out to give that nice crust. So that's where the Neapolitan comes in.
Right.
That's that cornicione that everyone has come to know and love. And there's so many techniques. You see the people showing off doing the slap.
Yeah, right, flipping it up in the air.
You see the people doing this. Yeah, you stretch it up in the air. Yeah. But you know, you don't want to make a mess throughout your whole kitchen.
Yeah.
So, but
and that is what that does, right? It sends flour everywhere.
So yeah, so if you love that crust and you like that characteristic profile of the Neapolitan traditional,
I do.
that's how you do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Just push it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of put your fingers into it to create that crust.
Yeah, you want to feel like it's the keys of a piano. That's the way I like to tell people to think about it. So you want enough pressure, but you don't want to rip it. You want to keep the center. If you see that, there's no soft spots or holes, because that's where we'll rip and make a huge mess inside your home oven. Now, the other style that we make for our larger pizzas is the more New Haven style, which is now very, very popular. But I went to school in Connecticut, so I love a beets.
So you like that.
Call it a beets. So when you make that, we don't put as much emphasis on the crust, so all that air, but you make sure it's nice and flat and even all around. So if that's the style you're looking for and it's all the rage right now, your home oven's a little better suited for it.
It's more like a flatbread, really, because it doesn't have a defined crust.
Yeah, not the defined crust. It can be all sorts of different shapes. It can be all, like, the fun of it is if you go to Frank Pepe's, they're cutting it in all different directions, very oblong shapes. And you'll have it more like this on a sheet pan, which you can see would be easier for you to do at home.
Absolutely, yeah. I can't make that perfect shape at home. It's so much, they look like kidneys. They look, all kinds of craziness. So tell me about this big guy package for the big game, because this sounds unbelievable.
Yeah, so one of my favorite things about promos at Billy Bricks and all these different types of events, we like to focus on two things, and I always say this. It's full price or it's free. So the packages we usually like to do so that way people can know what's the best way to put all of our different things that we offer together to suit your needs for their party. Or we throw in a lot of nice fun stuff for you that we add in. So for this particular package, we got 2 large pizzas that start with it, triple the size appetizers, because we know everyone wants more meatballs, more mac and cheese.
It's all about the apps.
Yeah, all about the apps.
Day, right?
So that's really what we focus on with that. And then we'll throw in desserts for free.
Oh, how nice. Well, you have such a great array and delicious crust.
Yeah.
You can check out the locations throughout Chicago at billybrickshq.com. We'll have a link on our webpage at WGNTV.com/midday. Oh, we got to come back out here and show the heart-shaped pizza for Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
we don't want to forget about this.
Come on, can we show it? There we go. Heart-shaped.
For this Sunday. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. For pizza lovers.